Welcome back to another automation breakdown where we break down automated solutions for your business needs. I'm your host, Chris. So, if you've ever had to send a report out to multiple managers, maybe in one Excel report, you've probably done one of two things. Either you've sent one massive email to everyone and attached that Excel doc to that email and just hope they figured out what applies to them, which, let's be honest, they don't. Or you go the other route and now you are manually splitting everything out, copy, paste, send, copy, paste, send.
I hate my life. I hate your life too, dude.
So in this video, I'm going to take that one data set you have, break it out by manager, and send them only the information that they specifically need. This is our raw data out of Excel. And if you've been keeping up with this series right here from this video, we have been going over a promotion nomination form. You don't necessarily need to have watched the whole thing, but just thought I'd point that out. And from our raw data, we need to make sure our Excel data is inside of a table. And so to do that, go over to Insert and you can click on Table. It's going to give you the ant trail all around your data set right here and make sure that is all good. Also make sure that my table has headers and click OK. So what the scenario is, our managers had submitted their associates for promotion nomination. So in this case, Calvin, the manager, wanted Finn to be promoted. The second level approver, Maya in this case, had approved it. HR had approved it. The entire status is approved. But let me sort by manager, and you can see our groups of managers. We have Aaron, we have Adrian, who have multiple employees that they had submitted for promotion. And now we want to give the original manager the status of that promotion nomination. Now that our data set is inside of a table, let's hop on over into Power Automate. Now that we're in Power Automate, let's go over to Create and Instant Cloud Flow. Let's give our flow a name and click on Manually Trigger a Flow and Create. So now we're left with this blank screen here. Let's add our next action, which will be list rows present in a table. Underneath Excel Online for Business, I will click on list rows present in a table, and let's go find our Excel doc. Underneath location, OneDrive for Business, document library, same thing will be in OneDrive. My file is underneath my desktop, inside of our faux company HRIS, and promotion nomination. Here is our table. And because I set you off by putting your raw data inside of a table, you should see table 1 right here. Also, depending on your row count, make sure to go over to settings, turn on pagination, and I'm going to boost this up to 2,000 rows. Our next action, let's add a select action. What we want to do now is get a unique list of all of our managers. Otherwise, if we don't get a unique list, the manager and their mother will receive an email.
And not just the men, but the women and the children too.
From our body/value of the list rows present in a table, and let's go over to text mode. Inside of map, we'll write in the function item, question mark, square brackets, and single quotes. Back inside of our Excel doc, we want to extract a unique list of our manager email column right here. So I want to use the name of this column, manager email. Back inside of Power Automate, I'm going to incorporate the column name, manager email. So we are extracting everything from that column. Next, I will add in a compose action. And inside of this compose action, we will use the expression union, and inside of the parentheses, let's go over to dynamic content. We will use the output of the select we just made. So we just got the entire column of all the manager emails, comma, and one more time we will add in the body of the select. Let's go ahead and add. This compose I will retitle to unique manager list. What ends up happening is this is our first item in that Excel document. This is our next item in that Excel document. When we use the select action, the output looks like this. we have all of the emails right here, again, from that manager email column. But as you can see right here and right here, we have the exact same email coming up twice. That's where our unique manager list, the output from that just gave us, again, just the unique manager email output. Now that we've got our unique list, I will add in our next action, apply to each. Now, what we're going to do is every single unique manager, we are going to start looping through every single one of those. And then we will add in a filter array. Under data operations, filter array. And what we're doing essentially is taking our original list, our list rows present in a table, body/value, and saying the following. Under dynamic contents, I will add in our column from the manager email is equal to, and inside of the dynamic content right here, scroll all the way down to underneath apply to each current item. And so this was our unique manager list. So Calvin was first, then Quinton, then Alicia. Inside of this apply to each, inside the filter array, the raw output is everyone that was underneath Calvin. The next one here, number 2, show raw output. Now everyone that is under Quinton shows up inside of this filtered array. So this filter array is the exact information each manager needs. And so now that we've dynamically retrieved all of the information for each individual manager, we need to put this in a format that an email can read. So our next action will be to create HTML table. Underneath data operations, you'll see create HTML table, which I will click right here. And this will come from underneath dynamic content, filter array, taking the body of that filter array. Underneath advanced parameters, I will select on columns, and underneath columns, I will customize which columns do we want to add into our final output, what's going to be in that final email. And so I want the name of the employee, and then of course the department that they are with. And then finally, I will add in the status. Was this approved or denied? So I will add in the header employee name, departments, and final status. These will be the names of the columns inside of our email. And now to retrieve the information from this original filter array, let's add in our functions. This will be the entire column. So item, question mark, square bracket, single quotes, and the name of the column from the Excel doc. For the employee name, again, the name of the column inside the email, inside the Excel doc, it is just called name. Just like that, let's click on add, and we'll do the same thing here, item, question mark, square bracket, single quotes, and departments. Final status is called status in our Excel doc. Let's go ahead and click add. And now right after this create HTML table, let's add in a compose. Inside this compose, we will go over to functions. Now the HTML that is produced from this create HTML table isn't always accurate. So what I've done is inside this new compose, go over to our expressions and I will say the following. We are going to replace all of the bad language with the language that the email can understand. So we're going to replace, coming over to dynamic content, the output of the create HTML table, comma, and what's the old text that the table produced? The original text said ampersand LT semicolon, all of that inside of the single quotes. Less than should be translated to the less than symbol. So this is the old text. We're replacing it with the actual less than symbol. At the beginning of this, I will do the same thing and replace the equation that we just replaced it with, comma, inside of our single quotes, we will say ampersand GT semicolon, which is greater than. We want to replace that GT with the greater than symbol. And then finally, at the beginning of this, we will do one more replace. And at the very end of this, comma, inside of our single quotes, ampersand QUOT semicolon. Quotes. comma, and we want to, inside of the single quotes, replace that with our double quotes. So every time that this ampersand quote comes up, we will replace it with a double quote. I'm just going to retitle our compose to replace function, and we are going to send an email. And what I'm going to use is under the Office 365 Outlook, send an email version 2. And I don't know if you guys realize that I'm all alone, so the email addresses from the managers are fake.
'Cause I'm all alone. There's no one here beside me.
So because of that, I'm just adding in myself as the 2. The subject will be promotion nomination, status update. Inside the body, I'm just going to write in manager email, colon, go over to our dynamic content, and then find our apply to each current item. So you'll see technically where the manager that in question that we're working with is located. But if you are working at home and doing this, you can always go over to settings, use dynamic content, and then insert the current item right there. Now I'm just going to add in, please see attached promotion nominations. Then we will add in our replace function right here. Let's go ahead and click save, and let's go ahead and test this out. And I think I just killed my emails by, I made 53 fake managers and I'm getting 53 emails right now. Yay. Now the flow is complete. You will see all 53 emails right here. And you will see, let's say Xavier was obviously denied because he didn't hit the subscribe button. But this list right here, it's okay, but it can be better. What we're going to do is go back into our flow, and inside of our replace function, right before the replace itself, I'm adding in this style to the table just so we get something a little bit more like a table with actual headers and different coloring. Go ahead and pause the video if you want to look at what I wrote here, but I'm going to save this one more time, and let's go ahead and manually test this flow again. And once again, I'm blowing up my own inbox, so you don't have to. But going inside of this email, you can see that the tables actually look like tables, like they're supposed to. And that is all from the HTML coding that we had added to that replace function. Obviously, my intent is not for you to blow up your own inbox, but I did that for you. You're welcome. And let me know what you think down in the comments. Is this something that you can actually use using an Excel workbook and sending out multiple emails with the exact information? Let me know. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will see you in the next video. To delete out all of these emails again. Still going. There's so many. There's so many of these emails. I got 9 left. Let's go.